We're good.
Welcome back, everyone, to another exciting adventure. Last time, the party was adrift at sea when you were all beset by a gang of Sahuagin, led by a priestess and a rather large individual. Due to Nira's quick thinking, shifting into a snark, and due to Nira's quick thinking, shifting into her snark form and getting extra snarky, she was able to intimidate the Sahuagin briefly, kind of giving her compatriots, the rest of the party, enough time to wake up and join Nira, Erdan, and Rizwin on the deck of the ship. Battle ensued. It was wild and all over the place. It's almost as if the DM was drunk. And eventually you guys snatched victory from the jaws of, let's be honest, even more victory, and made it away. You do have now in your possession some magical items that the Sahuagin were carrying. You do also have one less ballista bolt because one ended up getting shot off into the water. So there are 4 currently because one of them thudded into the side of the ship. So you still have that. Just to keep in mind in case you guys ever get into battle at sea again, if you want to get more ballista bolts, you'll have to visit a smith and have some made for you. In any case, on the horizon, you all see the southern coast of Fogo, specifically the port town of Badenkrag. And I will give you all a brief explanation of Fogo, now that you have reached a new country. Fogo is an ancestral home to dwarves, and it has been that way for a long time, although the population expanded greatly after the Bedouin Empire kind of spread across the land. So a lot of dwarf families that had emigrated out eventually decided to go back. So the population of Fogo grew rapidly. There are 2 main cities in Fogo. The first is the southern city, and the second is the northern city. The southern city is Barenkrag. Up north, there is Aberdeen, and in the middle, there's a couple little towns, and there is the prison colony known as the Brick, which is kind of more centralized. Fogo has hit kind of a rough patch good 25 years ago when, due to some magical shenaniganery, the fish population plummeted. Now, given that Fogo was an island nation, this led to what they just colloquially call the famine, a time period where, you know, it was very hard to provide enough food for everyone. At that time, a lot of people fled Fogo if they could. Other people toughed it out. Unfortunately, there were a lot of people that starved. A lot of people that starved and unfortunately perished in this time. However, the fish population has seemed to have returned. 25 years is a long time, and Fogo is starting to do well again. But a major event like the famine has been a big hit, not just to the population, but also to the economy of Fogo. And you guys see ahead of you the stone city of Barenkrag as you pull into the dock. And this is something that I briefly talked about last time, I believe. But as you all know, there is the funeral for Menos. At this point, I believe it's, if I'm recalling correctly, it's about 10 days out. That is going to be here in Badenkirk. This is the town that Menos lived in and Fleur, you're from. Um, if you guys want to do downtime until then, right, like kind of fast forward towards that, we can do some downtime activities while you kind of just hang out in the area. Or if you guys want to do stuff, you just got to let me know what you want to do. Whether that's, scout out for jobs or just go exploring the island. But if you guys would rather say like, hey, no, let's do some downtime, I can have you guys roll to, well, you would tell me basically what you want to do. And if you guys wanted to like train in a particular skill or something like that, I would have you roll a few skill checks. And if you do well enough, you could basically add a +1 to that skill. The idea that you took a couple weeks to kind of just train your mind or your body in a particular area of expertise. So, party, discuss what you would like to do.
Well, I think what would make narrative sense for Erdan, since he just kind of jumped up a whole level, was that he was probably practicing magic, trying to decipher the book of spells that he got from his teacher. And you're going to absolutely laugh at this, Ben, but I want to get a custom suit of armor made. Of leather armor, because that's the only thing that I could wear. Studded leather armor, and think about the Nightingales from Skyrim. Full mask, hood, everything like that. And so he would definitely want to go to a merchant at some point and try to have that made, possibly within a 3-week period.
Yeah, that shouldn't be a hassle for you to track down. I mean, you're in a dwarf city, not hard to find craftsmen and tailors and smiths and whatnot to track down and find. I'm just checking to see how much a suit of studded leather costs. And I have that in here. Okay, so I'm going to say that for it to be personalized to your aesthetic, I'm going to say typically studded leather is 45 gold. To have it personally made, I'm just going to have that price chalked up another 25. So okay. You'd be looking at 70 gold.
All right, cool. So 70 gold on that. I want to just like restock on arrows, get some more caltrops, get some more ball bearings. I don't have those priced out exactly. We can kind of figure that out later if you'd like.
Yeah, that's fine. Just remember exactly what you want to purchase. I don't know if you want to write it down or whatever, and then just, if we want to look it up and you just subtract the gold amount, that's fine. We don't have to necessarily do the whole scene unless you'd rather.
No, that's not necessary. What you might want to do is I kind of want to look at for poisons. I don't know what poisons that they would have on the island here. I might want to blow some cash on something that will kill someone.
Okay. Interestingly enough, Fogo, dwarves are naturally resistant to poison. They're pretty hardy. So the finding poisons is not like, I mean, it's the type of thing like you're not going to go to a store and be like, hey, do you have poison, right? But they do have things like rat poison and, things for poisoning vermin. If you were to roll me an investigation check, I'll let you know if you can find something particularly good.
Cool. I'm actually not even on my character sheet right now. 1 second.
And I was wondering, are you going to create those new magical items in the homebrew content?
Yeah, I can do that. I'll get around to that at some point.
Yeah, it's fine.
If you want to send the information to me or Ian, we can probably do it for you if you'd like.
Okay. I can do that.
I got a 14.
Okay. I'll say that you are able to find some some people selling, like some alchemists or whatever, saying like, you know, if you have poison for, or like rat poison type a thing, that can be applied if you wanted to apply it to a weapon or something like that. I don't know what a vial of poison costs, but I'm going to go ahead and say, because it's just simple rat poison, I'm going to go with 5 silver for a big old vial of it. We'll say you can get 5 uses out of it, and you will add 1d4 of poison damage when you're using it, and the target will roll a constitution check or be poisoned. For
rat poison, do you want to make it ingestion?
Well, I mean, yeah, you could do that if you wanted to.
Okay.
If someone was going to ingest it, they would just roll a constitution check to see if they fall prey to the poison condition.
And awesome, I'll take that. And I'd also, if anybody has any alchemist's fire, which is like a sticky adhesive fluid that ignites when exposed to air.
Yeah. Sure, you could. I'll say that with that same check, you can find a bottle of that as well.
Cool. Some guard's gonna really love me when I put that into his pocket.
Maniac.
All right. Well, I'm after that, I would just probably work on my magic.
All right. Anybody else have anything they want to do during some downtime, or is there anything like any scene that anybody wants to play out?
Oh, go ahead, Rusman.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I'm going to refuse to leave my ship. I'm just going to stay inside and play with my dog.
Okay.
And try to train him a little bit. So I should probably roll some animal handling checks.
Sure. Roll me 3 animal handling checks.
Wow.
Okay. And what do you add to those? Or is that?
I don't know. What do I add to those?
Whatever your animal handling.
Plus 3.
Plus 3. Okay.
Plus 3 the animal handling.
A 5, a 16, and a 14. All right. I will say that spending some time working with Windsor, he is becoming much more loyal. He's becoming less of just a dock dog and listening to commands. You can tell him to sit and to come and to lie down. He's not fully up to the level of like, hey, Windsor, attack, but he's doing pretty well. I'd say that in working with him, your own personal skill at animal handling is going to increase by 1. So if you want to add 1 to that, when you make animal handling checks, you can do so.
Cool. Can I give somebody money to go get a new ballista? Shit, what did I just do? I just rolled apparently for animal handling. How do I never mind, I'll do it later. Can I give somebody money to go buy a new ballista thing for my boat? Because I don't want to get off the boat, but we need to replace the one that Tup shot overboard.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Cool. So how much do those cost?
And where do we procure such a thing?
You would just go to the blacksmith.
Yeah, probably have some somewhere, I don't know, close to the dock where they're building ships.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a cost for that. Man, where do I find items? Anyway, you know what? We'll just say that it. I'll just say that costs 2 gold.
Okay.
It's the single bolt.
All right. I figure we should buy 2.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. That way we have we replace the one that we lost and we have
Like a
Another-
spare.
Yeah, I like that idea. Thanks, Fleur.
Yeah.
Well, that would get you guys up to having 6 ballista bolts on board the exploits. Gander is spending her time working with Windsor. Erdan, by the way, Erdan, did you say that you wanted to train a particular skill?
After doing all of that, if I can train the skill, I will.
Well, yeah, I mean, you take a day of shopping, but if you guys are going to be here for, a week and a half.
Would be training probably agility. Just trying to get some more flip wizard tricks in.
So acrobatics?
Acrobatics, yeah.
Okay, so roll me up 3 acrobatics checks.
Okay. All right, so we're going to do... That's a nat 20. Oh, that's funny. So 27, 18, and 10.
Okay. You have a fun time doing flippy spinny tricks, and you get a little bit better at doing acrobatics. When you make an acrobatics check, you can add a +1 to it.
Cool.
Who's up next? Let's go with Fleur. Fleur, what are you doing in your time off?
Well, I imagine I'm trying to figure out why Minos was murdered.
Okay. So you're going to be doing some investigating then.
Of course.
Okay. Roll me, I guess, 3 investigation checks.
Oh, geez. And I get, well, it's a +0. So
Okay.
I am not very good at investigating.
Yeah, so you go out and here's what you gather. Going on the docks and asking around, obviously there's some people that you knew there, and they're all very somber, but they're happy to see you because, the guys that actually worked around the docks knew, like, yeah, no, this is Menos's boy. He's cool. We like him. And they tell you pretty simply that you gave Billy Ironjaw quite the thrashing right before you left, and some of his boys started picking on him, making fun that he got knocked out so easy, right? Scrapping with the big dumb idiot who doesn't even know his name. So Billy took offense to that and went back to yell at Menos. And from what no one was there to actually see what happened, but from what some people said they heard from across the dock was the 2 of them getting into a shouting match, and then what sounded like the start of a fight. And by the time some dwarves got over there to check out what was going on, Menos was on the ground and he wasn't breathing. And Billy was all fucked up. For a name, even though his name was Ironjaw, his jaw was pretty well and cracked. And so it looks like the 2 of them got into a fight and Billy took it too far.
No ulterior motives.
Not that you can tell. Although, unfortunately, because what I'm having you guys do, and maybe I should have explained this. I'm having you guys roll 3 checks, and if you succeed on 2 out of the 3, you get the bonus to a skill. So because 2 of yours failed, I'm not going to give you the +1 to investigation.
Oh, well, no, I didn't investigate very well at all.
Yeah, well, that's okay, right? It happens. Um, okay, Rizwin, what are you doing in the downtime?
Well, I would like to increase my wisdom modifier. That's what I'd like to do. But also, I've kind of made a habit out of collecting holy water whenever we land somewhere or go somewhere because I need it for the bless, and I use the bless the most. So I
Mhm.
think I would like to go see if there's a place that they consider to be like a holy fountain of some kind, and I don't know how to use that to increase my wisdom, but I would assume that I'd learn stuff on the way.
Okay, so we're not doing actual modifiers. We're doing a particular skill. So
Okay,
if you
but
wanted to pick like perception or insight or whatever, like one of your actual skills, as opposed to like the
well, which one contributes to wisdom?
They say whiz. Well, they don't. None of them contribute.
Oh, but they're like hand in
they
hand.
they get their points from wisdom, like perception and insight, and I think animal handling are and nature and whatnot are like wisdom-based skills. So basically, you would still roll and add your wisdom modifier, but if you train a particular skill, you could add an additional one to that when you're trying to use that skill in specific.
Okay. How
Medicine's
about
one.
medicine? Yeah, I think medicine would be the one that I want for that.
Okay, so we can say, obviously, Rizwin, this is your hometown, right?
Is that you, Chris?
No, it's you're on.
What?
No, it's me.
Are you
Right.
okay, Riley?
I was saying hi to Chris. It's fine. Don't worry about it. All good.
Riley.
Is that why it was so loud? It was coming from 2 sides.
I guess so.
Anyway.
Sorry,
Awesome.
guys.
No, you're good. Okay, so
Yeah.
so medicine.
So this is your hometown, and you know the big temple of the Celestials is here.
Oh, I didn't think we actually were in my hometown yet. I thought we were like somewhere before that point. So okay, in that case, then I'm just gonna go visit the place that I came from, which
Right.
was
So,
like the monastery.
Oh, I
yeah.
forgot.
So what I can say with that is that if you want to do your medicine checks as if you're like helping take care of the sick that are being housed at the monastery, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So you can go ahead and roll 3 medicine checks for me.
Just what size? Sorry. What size is that? Are we
D20.
doing 20? It is? Okay. I thought it would be
Yeah.
smaller than that.
Okay. Yeah. So you are able to spend some time helping to take care of the sick, visiting with Mother Sandrea, who's, you know, the Mother Superior of the temple. And, you know, where's when you're back so soon? What are you doing here, child?
Just bringing my friends sightseeing. Here to help while we're here.
Back for the funeral then, yes?
Yeah, that's what brought us here. Brought somebody else back too that needed to come visit for a while.
Did you now?
Maybe you'll see her. You might have to come out to the boat.
Well, maybe I will. And you spend time taking care of the sick with your Mother Superior. You may add 1 when you make medicine checks from your time training here. Let's kick it over to Bark. Bark, what are you doing in your downtime?
Well, I was trying to think of who I would want to be like with because everybody's going off in separate directions, and I don't want to be on the boat. So I think I'd go with Fleur and help him investigate. Actually,
Okay. Well, then you can also roll some investigation checks. So, in your investigating, you do come across a in looking around, right? You go, like, Fleur takes you to the place where him and Menos, like his workshop where they would work together, right? And one thing that you overheard was they're not quite sure, how Menos died, right? They know that when they came up, he was beaten half to death and beaten to death. He wasn't breathing. But in kind of searching around out back behind the actual workshop, hidden under some old rags and whatnot, you find a bloody dagger, like old dry blood at this point. But the dagger like is not familiar when you show it to Fleur. Like it wasn't something that Menos owned. And that is a piece of information that you uncover in your investigation. And because of your roles and training your eye to look for particular details like that, you can add +1 to investigation checks moving forward. Moira, what do you do in your downtime?
I think she's going to stealth around town and just kind of sit in taverns and try to listen to people's conversations, trying to gather secrets from Madame Yuri.
Okay, so I would say that's going to be either perception or investigation.
Oh, okay. I was going for the stealth thing, but those are fine.
Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, that's fine. If you're saying that you're specifically training on how to be sneaky, that's fine. I thought you were saying specifically about eavesdropping.
No, my perception's decent and investigation. I was just kind of going for the stealthy, trying to be sneakier.
Okay, fine. Then roll me 3 stealth checks.
Yeah. 2 or 3 times.
3 times, please.
Did it go 2 or 3?
Oh, I only see 1.
Oh, okay. I thought I'm using the. God damn it.
Okay, now 2 more just popped in.
Okay, there we go. There they are.
And one of those was a nat 20, I take it?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you managed to sneak your way around, learning how to blend in with the shadows. Despite being someone who's usually in front of the crowd with the spotlight on her in bright colors, you learn how to tip your black hat down and cover your eyes and slip about. And you get pretty good at being stealthy. You can add +1 when you're making stealth checks. And then
Did I find anything good for Madame Yuri?
Yeah, you pick up just the regular dirt of like, oh, so-and-so is cheating on so-and-so, somebody, it turns out, has been taking a little bit extra from the church coffers. It's town drama, but you don't pick up any big, earth-shattering secrets.
Okay, cool.
But, you're picking up little secrets here and there that at some point your patron might choose to trade for other information. And then Nira, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. What do you want to do in your downtime?
Is there a library around?
Sure. Yeah, you could. Barton Craig is a decent sized city. It's not like Bedoja at all, but you could find a small library. Most of the works are in Dwarven, but there are some that are in Common as well.
Okay. I'd like to spend some time. I haven't done a lot of research into what I've kind of been looking for. So I'm going to take some time to poke around and just see if there's anything there that I haven't really come across that can help me figure out what to do about the dragon.
Okay. Roll me 3 investigation checks.
Would you be so kind?
Oh, yes. I will be doing that right now.
Thank you.
Oh, wait, no, that's not how I want to do it. 1, 2, 3. And then do you happen to know what your intelligence modifier is?
Let me pull that up. My intelligence modifier is nothing.
Okay, so I rolled a 7, a 1, and a 16. So the fact that most of the books are in Dwarven, and that's not, I don't believe that's one of your languages.
No.
Okay, so it's a little bit hard to find some solid information. You do find some books just on dragons in general and their natures. There's a tome called Chromatic versus Metallic Dragons. And when cracking into it and reading through it, you learn that metallic dragons are usually considered to be much more benevolent and often take the guise of mere mortals, but they're usually pretty chill, right? Whereas chromatic dragons, red, white, green, blue, black, are much more aggressive, much more covetous. And of the lot, white dragons are actually usually considered to be like the most feral, with some exceptions of, particular, it has a disclaimer that like certain individuals might be, they have their own temperament. But traditionally speaking, white dragons are seen as little more than beasts. So given that knowledge, you know that Zarthesius must be a very specific individual, not just your run-of-the-mill white dragon to begin with. But unfortunately, because 2 of those checks failed, we will not be adding anything to your investigation checks moving forward.
That's fair.
All right, and I believe that handles everyone. So it is getting close to the day of the funeral. And I'm going to go ahead and say, Rizwin, are you were just mostly staying at the temple the whole time, right? Or are you kind of meeting back up with everyone from time to time?
I think I was mostly just going to be in the temple until it was whenever we were supposed to rendezvous to move on.
Okay. Gander, I know you said you're staying on the ship and only coming off when you have to. For Nira, Erdan, Fleur, and Bark, and Moira, do you think you guys are still kind of hanging out or just kind of on your own?
Oh, I think Erdan is probably checking in with everybody just to make sure that everybody's like okay. He's definitely hiding everything that he bought from everybody. That's straight going into his backpack, and nobody's going to find out about those. But other than that, he's very interested in what other people are doing.
Okay. Is that the same for the rest of you?
I'm just with Fleur.
Okay.
I'm hanging out.
Okay. So closer to the end of our downtime, I'd say probably about 8 days in, our 2 dwarven compatriots are off doing their own thing. Rizwin hanging out at the chapel, Gander staying on the vessel playing with her dog. But the rest of you off to go for a little stroll out in the woods, kind of outside the town. Bark, maybe you're out trying to hunt a deer or something so that you guys can have some fresh meat to bring back to Gander. And Bark, given that you're the ranger in the party, roll me a perception check, please. Okay. You hear a little voice shouting coming from somewhere around there's kind of like a rocky hill sort of structure. You're in the woods, big pine trees, and you hear some shouting. It sounds like someone yelling for help.
Fleur, I hear someone calling for help. Let's go help them. It's over this way.
Let's go.
I want to approach cautiously, and should I roll investigation?
Well, no, I mean, you already have a perception check going. If you want to roll stealth to kind of sneak up on what's going on here, Moira, Erdan, and Nira, the three of you are with these two, or yeah, I thought so.
Crap, Fleur.
I am.
All right, so Fleur turns into mist.
Meanwhile, the ranger steps on every branch on the way.
And then, yeah, if Moira, Erdan, and Nira also want to roll stealth checks, they may. Nira, I can roll for you here. You're just gonna have to let me know what to add to it.
And we're rolling stealth.
Yeah.
Mine's actually 22 because I just got that +1.
Nice.
Yeah, I was gonna say mine's a +3, so I got 22 as well. Yes.
222
Mine's +3.
+3. Okay, so you rolled a 14, so that's a 17, 2 22s. Erdan's is
26.
26. I'd say that your pals being sneaky, even though you step on a twig, it's just to turn and point oh my God, we got to be quiet. So that's fine. I'd say that overall group party check, they covered your bases. You go around the bend, and what you guys see is a bear that is currently clawing at a tree. Down at the bear, or by the bear's feet, there seems to be a sack that's laying on the ground, and up in the tree is a little rabbit man who's shouting.
Fucking Aster!
Here we go.
We're ready.
Little white rabbit
Charge the bear!
you guys have seen before, and he's just like, help, help, oh, you lot, get me out of this tree, come on, help me, please.
I'm gonna try something out.
Okay.
How far away is this bear? Ooh.
I'd say from where you guys are standing right now, probably about 60 feet.
Okay. I want to clang my swords together and void walk to the far side of him and try and draw him away from Aster.
Oh, okay. So, yeah. Okay. So if you want to, okay. So if the bear and Aster are over here, I think Misty Step can only get you up to 30 feet.
Okay.
But if you wanted
Might as well
to
just run then.
I was say, if you wanted to jump 30 feet and then you could use a dash action and basically take 3 movements, you know what I mean? And then you would be like, you know what I mean? Like you would basically come charging past him and then teleport 30 feet away from him. And he's like, oh shit.
I like that plan. Yeah. Okay. But he'll get an opportunity attack on me, right?
Not if you're teleporting.
Okay. All right.
You're not
All right,
leaving
so
the threatened area.
I'm going to make as much noise as I can as I'm heading towards the bear.
Okay.
Work. Work.
So, I guess, should you roll me an intimidation check or a persuasion check?
It doesn't matter. They're both 0 bonuses.
Okay, so you go charging at the bear. And,
Could I get animal handling?
Sure, we can say this is a weird animal handling check. It is an animal.
baiting the bear.
Hey, Yogi.
So, yeah, you clang your swords together and teleport an additional 30 feet. Right when the bear like turns to look and like swipe at you, and then it's like, oh, and then you're over there like, hey, over here, bear. And it starts to give chase. Rest of the party, what are you doing? Your buddy's getting chased by a bear.
Are we on the other? Like, is the bear
do what
between
Erdan's
us?
gonna
Where
do.
is the bear in relation to us and Steve at Bark?
He is standing about 30 feet away from the bear, which is 90 feet from where you guys are standing. The bear is 60 feet away from you.
Well, I'm gonna run and up to the tree and try to get that Aster bunny out of it.
Okay. Yeah, if you charge up to the tree, you could just kind of like, you'd be using your dash action to get there, but you could basically just like put your arms up and be like, all right, come on down.
Jump! You're a bunny.
You're gonna catch me?
I can certainly try.
Oh, all right. Here I go. Ah! Roll an athletics check to see if you can catch Aster.
Okay.
That's good enough.
Gonna say
I'm sure you probably add like 5 to that.
Yes, I am proficient.
Okay, yeah, so just plus a bunch. Yeah, so Aster, he's not a big guy, right? He's like 2.5 feet tall. You catch him as he lands nestled in your arms like a chunky toddler. Like, oh, well, hello there. Is the bear still around? Whoa, shit, there's the bear. So what are you guys gonna do about the bear?
Are we trying to kill it?
That's up to you.
I was trying to lead it away from us. Or just lead it away so that, like, you could get the bunny.
Yeah, and then we can like run away and he can teleport back and then the bear's just gonna charge off into nowhere.
Hopefully.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Can I? Oh, sorry, go.
Oh, no, go on.
I don't know what I was gonna do.
I think I'm going to use the. Is he still in range for me to use the earpiece?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say, Spark, teleport back, and I'll use an illusion to hide you.
Got it.
Oh, Gander, Tup has, for the moment, decided to stay with you on board and hang out with you and Windsor.
So the intention is that when he gets close enough, I guess, to clang the swords again, and then I'm going to use silent image to just kind of like try to create a background like he's not there anymore, that we're both invisible.
Okay, so Bark teleports like right as the bear's like coming at you. You clang the swords again and teleport back to the tree. And then I'm sorry, are you making an illusory Bark?
I'm what I'm doing is I'm creating the image like the light was passing around us, so just whatever's behind us, just making us invisible.
Oh, okay. So you basically what I'll say is you make an illusory tree, right? Kind of next to that one that you guys can like nestle between the two trees and a little rock face and hide out as this bear looks around and then scampers further off into the woods given the surprise and the sound of clanging metal. And Aster, oh my, that was, thank you all very much. Hello. I remember you. You were down in the, you saved me from some goblins.
Yeah, we did.
That's very serendipitous.
You saved me from a bear. Oh, I owe you all a whole bunch.
I believe you had to run last time we met.
Yeah, I was running late for a very important date. Um, I saw to that. I saw to my mistress, and I actually just popped over here to collect some basilisk eggs that they well, and he goes over to that pack that was on the ground by the bear, and he picks up a pack and says like, oh no, oh, one of them broke, but it looks like the other ones are doing all right. And he pulls out from his little basket several brightly colored eggs. um, he's like, these are quite special. It's hard to find non-fertilized basilisk eggs, but I have a bunch here. Um, Tell you what, to as a show of my thanks, would you like to take some eggs?
Sure. That would be excellent.
That's right. Well, I actually have a couple dozen here. I came across a big old basilisk nest. How many do you all need? I would suggest you each have one. They're real tasty.
8
Oh,
of us?
I will happily take one. Thank you.
8? You said there's 8? Okay, one,
Right?
two.
Because there's 7 of
Yes,
us up top.
7 plus up, yeah.
Sorry, I am not in a place to do math right now.
No, you nailed it. It wouldn't have been fair for Aster to know that information ahead of time.
Well, what
He
about
hands you guys each eggs, and he hands you a couple extra to take back for Gander and Tup Tup and Rizwan. He goes, now what the best way to make them is to fry them. You might want to fry them.
Well, we have a wonderful cook to bring this back to, so I'm sure it will be properly attended to.
Sounds wonderful. Thank you once again for saving me. I really appreciate it. I hope the next time we meet, it'll be on better circumstances.
yeah, either you're bad luck or I'm bad luck.
Well,
Because you know,
I've been in that tree since last night. I was supposed to be getting going this morning. I was just waiting for my watch to reset. And he goes into his bag and pulls out a golden pocket watch. And he goes, in any case, you've made a very happy Aster. And I will see you all around. I don't know, maybe in a year or something. And he clicks the top of the pocket watch, and the dials, the hands on it spin all crazy, and a hole opens up in the ground. And to those of you standing there, if you you can kind of peer into it, it doesn't look like a hole that goes down into nowhere. It looks like, is there any way that you can turn the line off? Oh, sorry. It looks like the angle is weird. There is a horizon. Even though the hole opens up in the ground, when you look down, it's like you're looking out towards a horizon. And it's just this strange grove with these huge mushrooms and like weird flowers that seem to be like dancing in the sunlight. It is a bizarre scene. He goes, well, if you ever find yourselves in Underland, come find me.
I'm a materialized caper.
What?
I materialize caper.
Yeah, he comes flying right through the hole.
Comes flying right through the hole.
Caper is a Fey spirit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he comes shooting straight out of the Feywild.
Gotcha. Okay.
And the Aster, the bird, Caper flies up and he goes, "Oh, well, shit!" And he takes a step, and as he steps, his body like turns forward, and you just see him. Even though you're looking straight down, he's just walking away into the grove, and then the hole closes up behind him.
Well then, that was interesting. So
That
I'm
happened.
sorry for the abrupt entrance there, Caper.
Woo.
Just give him a couple pets.
So, you guys, managed to find some meat and berries and stuff like that, foraging around for provisions. You go back to the boat. You now have all these eggs that you can share and make an egg dinner. Gander, I'm sure you'll have a blast with that.
Yeah. Is there anything special about basilisk eggs?
Well, they are brightly colored. They have they're a little bit bigger than a regular egg. They're about yay big. They have a very big, almost nasty kind of green yolk. They're not pretty. The inside of them isn't pretty. The outside is rather pretty. But the inside, it's almost more like a dark greenish yolk and a light greeny sort of egg white. But they do make a nice big egg.
They're tasty.
You'll have to try them.
Okay. So I'm gonna take, what else did you guys bring home?
Wild pig.
Okay.
Yes.
Roll initiative. You're gonna fight a pig.
Yes! Let's fight this boar.
Just kidding.
You laugh, but we fought a boar in our Pathfinder campaign.
Oh yeah, it kicked our ass.
I bet it did.
I'm gonna make green eggs and ham.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
God.
all right.
There we go.
I'm
Cancel.
sorry for this shit.
I'm
Okay.
gonna make green eggs and ham.
Okay, so you make your green eggs and ham. And I want everyone to roll me a D6.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Yes.
Oh wow. We all got different rolls.
Nira also rolled a 1.
Oh, she should have rolled a 2. We would have had every single number.
As you guys, oh, and I need one for Tup Tup as well. Tup Tup rolled a 5. As you guys are eating this meal, this egg is just, first of all, it's actually quite good. It's got a bit of an acidity to it that you don't pick up in like a chicken's egg, but it's meaty, right? It's a lot of yolk, and it's actually quite pleasant. It pairs well with the ham, and you feel imbued with some energy from this magical creature eating its egg. You all can increase your hit point maximum by the number you just rolled.
Oh wow.
Yeah, sorry for those who rolled a 1.
Yeah.
And there's no way to do this in D&D Beyond, right? Or can
Oh
you?
yeah, there is.
Yeah, you
For
should be able,
this there is.
you should just be able to just edit your maximum HP.
Give me a second.
These are not temporary hit points. This is increasing your HP max threshold.
Wait, am I really at 46? That seems high.
While you guys do that, I'm going to step away for a second, and then we will move on with the adventure for this evening.
All right, how do I do this, guys?
So you would have to, if you're on your character sheet, I don't know if there's a way for you to go into edit from there. So.
Yeah, there's a gear next to your name.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
And then I added an HP modifier because I didn't want to mess up the rolled HP.
Yeah.
And then I don't know how you guys did it, but for the ability modifier, I did a similar thing. I just did a custom bonus or something.
Oh,
Yeah,
you can do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That's
was
how
trying to
I
look
made
and see how
myself-
you can do that.
That's how I added a couple of things for my thing. Remember, we had to fiddle with it. I had to do a custom.
I honestly, yeah, there's a gear at the bottom. And then if you click on a specific one, you can customize it. And then you can even put a note about what that bonus is. So I put a skill.
Oh,
I'm so sorry, Chris. I didn't know this.
I'm confused.
On your character sheet, if you scroll to the bottom of your skills panel.
Wait. Sorry.
what is happening?
This is the first time I'm ever looking at D&D Beyond tonight. So
Okay.
I'm at the bottom of my skills panel.
There's a gear icon.
Yes.
Click that.
Yes.
Click the skill that you want to modify. It's not going to give you a pointer. It'll give you like a text pointer. But if you click on a skill, then there's a customize drop down.
Yes.
You can put in a skill miscellaneous bonus and add a label for it.
What did you have for your label?
Narrative bonus.
That's what you wrote.
I DM gift.
Both are true.
All right. So now how do I do my hit points?
So next to your character name, there is a gear.
Yes.
Click that. Scroll down a little bit, see edit character. Click that. Once you're on edit character, there should be a manage HP button.
Yes.
And then you can add your HP modifier there.
Okay.
And then click apply, and that'll save it. And you can go back to your character sheet by clicking the square that looks like kind of like an icon of a character sheet.
Cool. You're the shit. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, nice. I'm not squishy anymore.
I'm less squishy as well. Oh, and I'd like to tell you all about a new bonus feat that I have. It's called multi-attack defense, where I get a +4 bonus AC against any subsequent attack from a single attacker after it hits me.
Remember that, because in the heat of battle, I will probably forget.
As will I, but we'll figure it out. By the way, Erdan, if you hadn't saved me, my idea was to do dark vision on the bear, or not dark vision. I can cast, what is it, darkness or something?
Oh my gosh.
I was just gonna hide it in an orb of darkness and then run away.
The bear's like, it's night. It's night all of a sudden.
Not just night, can't see anything.
Help!
Blind.
All right, gang. So now
Judging us.
So we come now to the morning of the funeral. Does anyone have anything else they want to do before going to the temple to attend the funeral?
I want to have a side conversation with Moira.
Yeah. What's up?
Did you bring your makeup kit?
Yeah, always.
Is there anything in that kit that might like dye my hair and maybe make my eyes the same color?
I don't know about your eyes. Is this a general concern, or is it like during the funeral specifically concern?
I just don't want to come off the boat looking like myself.
Okay, so it's like an all-day issue.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm really
Your disguise self on you for an hour, but I can't burn all of that.
I'm really concerned about my eyes. Everybody's gonna know it's me.
All right, how about this? If you just stick to my side today, I can continually cast minor illusion on you and easily change one of your eye colors to the other. And I can definitely, if we sit down here for a little bit, I can, do your makeup, and I've got my gold hair strands that I can try to lend you for the day, and you can wear my gold hair strands. And even here, I take off my, do you want to kind of have elvish ears? You can wear my elvish ear things, and we can I can just put you in my burlesque outfit if you want, or some.
Shave off my beard. That would help too.
I mean, I don't want you to have to do that, but
I kind of want to.
would you rather I mean, if you want to, absolutely, I can help you do that, or I could maybe decorate it really different, and we could put some gold hair strands, make you, what color is your hair?
Red, bright fucking red.
Well, maybe we can kind of make it look more gold yellow, closer to my hair.
Okay, we can do that.
Whatever you are comfortable with. If you want to shave it off.
I need to not look like me. You know what? Let's shave my face and make my hair look your hair color. And I might need you to do minor illusion on my eyes.
Yeah, and you'll just have to, you'll have to stay, let me see how far away, within 30 feet of me, and I got your eye.
Okay, so if I like give you a signal, you'll turn my eye colors, like if anybody starts to think it's me.
Well, hold on, why is it, give me a second. It lasts for a minute, and I'll just have to continually, how many first level slots do I have?
Let's change my hair, shave my beard, do my makeup. Let's put your elvish ears on me. That'll work.
You know what? I could do disguise self every hour for 6 hours, but I can't do anything else first level for the rest of the day.
I don't want you to do that.
Well, and doesn't that only work on self?
Oh, God damn it.
Let's just shave my face, shave my face, do my ears, do my hair. Let's do this.
Okay. All right. So I'll sit down and kind of just pretty much use my burlesque hair stuff and my little fake gold ear things, and kind of just, she'll look like an elvish looking dwarf.
With no beard and gold hair.
So we can try to make you look like a very short, stocky elf.
I'll take that elf works.
Maybe like a broad gnome. Anyway.
Literally a half elf.
All right.
Laura, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. I'll, bust out my makeup and do a full glam on her. Lots of sparkly eyeshadow. Really.
Okay.
The anti-gander. Yes, this is good.
Yeah, just get all dolled up to go to a funeral. Exactly. You're gonna blend right in.
Okay.
He's gonna knock him dead.
Slightly less glitter then. Like just subtle glitter. Just around the sides.
I just need to not look like me.
I heard you, Erdan. Good one.
I missed that. I'm sorry.
All right, you know what? For fun's sake, Nikki, roll me a check using your disguise kit.
I don't know how to do that. Am I proficient in disguise kit is the real question.
Are you? I would imagine that you would be, given your background.
I feel like I have to be.
You can add your proficiency bonus to it. It's fine.
Okay. What's the proficiency for disguise kit?
So
Shit.
just roll a d20 and add your proficiency bonus.
Okay. Okay. And my proficiency is 3.
Okay.
I
was just
go up.
I think it should still be 3 at the moment. Yeah, I just wanted to see whether or not you could make her look unassuming or like she was attending a drag queen quinceañera. And I'm guess with a 16, we'll say that, yeah, she doesn't stick out too much, which is exactly what you're going for when you're trying to be incognito. All right, so you guys all assemble at the temple. There is there's a young dwarf boy, young, like, I don't know, maybe 12, who seems to be ushering people to seats. And when he sees you, Fleur, he goes, "Oh, Mr. Fleur, there's a spot for you right up at the front. And these are your friends?"
Yep. This is my group of friends.
All right. Well, then follow right this way, please. And he scurries down the aisle, and there's, think of like a big cathedral church, and with different stained glass windows to different celestial beings and the different divine domains. And a long purplish carpet that goes down the center track, big stone temple with pews, like a Catholic cathedral. And right up at the front is where you guys are seated, given that Fleur was Menos's ward. People start, shuffling in. Gander, roll me a perception check, please. Nat 20. If there's ever going to be a time to do it, it's that. You are surreptitiously looking around, and you see, wearing her formal mourning clothes, robes, I should say, is your grandmother, your mother's mother, Mother Sandrea. And you can probably assume here to do the ceremony. But with that check, you also see coming in through the back. He's gone fully bald up top. He's just got hair going around the sides, and then of course his beard, long and braided, tucked into his belt in the front, wearing the robes, black robes of his station. You see your father, Oberon Beathic. And he walks in and greets his, I guess, ex-mother-in-law, Mother Sandrea, and then takes a seat. But neither of them seem to have spotted you at the moment.
Have I been in this cathedral before?
Well, yeah, this is your grandmother's cathedral. She's the high priestess. Mother Sandrea walks up the middle after, a hush goes over the crowd. And of course, there's the casket up there, and she stands behind the pulpit and says, "Brothers and sisters, it is with a heavy heart that we gather here together today to bid farewell to one among us who was truly an example of our community. Menos was a good man, a craftsman, a hard worker, but one with a big heart. He would go about doing whatever he could to help whoever he could. I remember once the church itself needed some work done on the roofing, and he came over just having heard rumor and climbed right up on top and just started replacing shingles. Nobody asked him. He didn't ask for any payment. I tried to pay him. He wouldn't take it. Said that it wouldn't be right to take money from the church. Manos was good. As you all may know, he was a family man, but unfortunately, he has gone on now to meet with his wife, Christy, and their son, Job, who were sadly taken from us too early, having fallen ill during the famine. Menos is now on the plains of Elysium with his family once more. In fact, for a long time, he was brokenhearted at his loss, as anyone would be, until the day that he rescued young human from the very seas, the Emerald Sea. Fleur, I'm so glad to see that you were able to join us here today. I don't mean to put you on the spot, but if you wanted to come up and say any words, I'm sure it would mean a lot to him. But that is your decision to make.
Of course, of course.
And she takes a step back as a man that towers over regular people, let alone a room full of dwarves, takes the pulpit.
Yeah, well, I'm glad to be here. Unfortunately, we're celebrating this man's life. He was, like the mother said, a great man. As far as I can remember back, he's always been good to me. And he taught me pretty much everything I know right now. And he was always looking out for my best interests and teaching me what I could and everything he knew. So it was sad when I heard that he had passed, and I wish I knew why, but I guess there's a reason. But you know, he's still right here with me. So and then I'll go take my seat.
Thank you. Now, as his body is taken out, as per tradition, shall be the reciting of the Voyage of Seasons. And Mother Sandrea takes a step down from the pulpit. And a rather barrel-chested dwarven man steps forward. Long black beard, kind of tanned from the sun. And he steps up, and the room falls into a hush. He clears his throat. We used to walk along in springtime, when the flowers were so bright, and we would talk about their blooming in the growing morning light. We used to walk along in summer, through fields of heather in the day, singing songs of our ancestors. In shade of tree we'd hide away. And we used to walk along in autumn. Oh, how those colors seem to soothe all of our growing fears of winter. For it was warmer next to you. So journey on, my friend, and worry not about my grieving. Sail away on seas unseen, and I will find you when I'm sleeping. Over hill, across the sea, find the place where you'll be free. Under bright and starry skies, rest your head and close your eyes. Let this be a fond farewell. And now I walk along in springtime, but the flowers aren't as bright, and I notice not their blooming in the dimming evening light. And I walk along in summer, through fields of heather filled with graves, but I don't sing to my ancestors. The quiet is all that remains. And now I walk alone in autumn, but the leaves don't seem to soothe all of my growing fears of winter. It will be colder without you. But journey on, my friend, and worry not about my grieving. Sail away on seas unseen, and I will find you when I'm sleeping. Over hill, across the sea, find the place where you'll be free. Under bright and starry skies, rest your head and close your eyes. Let this be a fond farewell.
Gorgeous.
Shut up.
And he steps down from the pulpit, and several dwarves step forward to lift the casket, and Mother Sandrea gives a nod over to Fleur and kind of gestures like, would you like to join them?
Sure. And I'll walk over and bend over to help them, I guess.
I say they Paul put it up on their shoulder. You're kind of holding it just at chest height. But you help carry the casket out to the graveyard out beside the cemetery, or beside the church, the cemetery beside the church. And you guys see as they lower it down and start to fill in the grave. As a send-off is done to Menos. And the ceremony wraps up, and the people start to file out. Those who, I should say people start to like walk away because they had already filed out for the actual burial.
Hey, Erdan, can I borrow your cloak?
Absolutely.
It's hooded, right?
Sure is.
Absolutely.
I'm just gonna wrap up in Erdan's cloak.
Okay. As you all are standing there, Gander, you hear a voice you know rather well. It is the voice of your father, Oberon. And he says, I was not expecting to ever see you again.
I had to come back for his burial.
He turns to look at you and says, thank you very much. You did a good thing. And
You
then
want some?
he nods curtly and turns his attention back to Gander. I see you have made some changes in the years that have gone by, but a father never forgets.
Not sure what to say.
What are you doing here, Gander?
I need to get back to my boat. And I run away back to my boat.
Is that it?
That's
You're
it.
gonna leave?
Leave it at that.
He
I
follows after you.
I'm gonna bolt for my boat.
You're literally going to run.
Yes, I'm running away from him to my boat.
Okay. Sure. Anyone who's around that is observing this interaction can roll me an insight check.
Erdan can make a conjecture at what's going on right now. He's smarter than I am, so if anything he can figure, anything I can figure out, he can figure out.
Yeah, you rolled a natural 17. So whatever you add to insight. I think this one is going to fall to you, Nira. Given that I imagine you have
+6.
Yeah. So Nira rolled 17 plus 6, that's 23. Nira, you observe this interaction, and as Gander turns to bolt and run away, you see Oberon, his fists are clenched tight, and his hands are trembling. But what you don't see in his face, he's not flushing with anger, right? He like went to take a step after her, and she just turned and ran. And he lowers his head and just walks away. So the funeral wraps up. What is anyone going to go after Gander? What are you guys going to do?
Oh, I'm going after Gander.
Was there any point where I might have been able to investigate the knife and if there were wounds from a knife?
Oh, the casket was closed. It's been some time since he died.
Okay.
But
Did it, like, put him in a hole yet, or like is he? Can I get down in there and like examine?
The body was buried, Park.
Well, we're coming back at night.
I mean, if you want to dig up a grave in the middle of the night, you can. Or you could, I don't know, maybe ask around about the dagger.
Or I don't know, maybe ask Fleur if that's what he wants.
Well, so that's the thing. Like I'm not sure if I missed this like opportunity that could have happened. But yeah, I did. So it's done.
That's all right. Okay, so what are we doing, gang?
I think I'll probably head back to the boat as well. I want to make sure Gander's okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna say my goodbyes to Mother Sindreus, and then I'm just gonna head back to the boat and
Right.
leave Gander still in one piece.
I stay with the party.
I'm gonna go talk to Oberon.
Okay. Yeah, you can track him down. So let's do this in the correct order here. Rizwin, you said you were going to Sandrea. I can't hear you.
That's because Steve muted me.
That's okay.
I said I'm gonna go say goodbye to Mother. Say her name. Is it
Mother Sandrea?
Okay, because in my head she's San Andreas, and I'm pretty sure that's not what you were saying. Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. So
Yeah, no.
I'm gonna
Mother
say goodbye to her and then head back to the boat.
Yeah, she embraces you and whispers to you to look after Gander and to let her know that she will, Mother Sandrea says to you, tell her that I'll be here and that I want to see her. And I'll be here.
I will try.
Thank you. I know I sent you off, and turns out you were the right one. Thank you, Riswood.
Well, it wasn't terribly helpful. She didn't really stay very long. So, don't know that I'm the right one, but we'll keep trying.
Regardless, my granddaughter was in this temple again. And that means a lot to me. And she turns and walks away. You said you wanted to approach Oberon. Okay? Yeah, you're able to track him down as you actually find him. He kind of went around behind the church, and you hear the muffled sounds of sobbing before you come around the corner, and he's, yes. Hello.
I come as a friend. You don't know me, but I know Gander. And I don't know what happened here. I don't need to know. What I want you to know is that we love her. We are taking care of her. And she is good. She takes care of us. We have needed her in so many ways. And I am not trying to interfere in what has passed between you both. I just want you to know that she is well and she is loved.
Thank you for, I suppose, helping to look after her. I don't know who you are or who you are to her, but I suppose I'm glad that she has someone, because she left a lot of people here. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have business to attend to. And he walks away. Erdan, you said you were chasing after Gander.
Yeah. I'm not going to stop her. I'm just going to see where she gets to start off, and then whenever she slows down, I'll approach her. So I don't know where that is.
Well, you said you were returning to the boat.
I'm not going to stop until I get to the exploits.
Okay.
And I don't stop till I'm on deck and I'm pacing back and forth behind the cabin, just freaking out, crying, trying to decide to just take the exploits and leave you guys and sail away.
Coming out of the cabin with Windsor at his side is Tup Tup, who stayed because he wanted to keep an eye on the ship, and he was afraid that being a goblin in a room full of non-goblins would pull attention away from the day. Oh, Miss Gander, what's wrong?
Never should have come back here. I never should have come back here. This was a huge mistake. What was I thinking? Oh God, what was I thinking? I knew why would I go into that temple? I knew he'd be there. I knew she'd be there. And right up front, God, what was I thinking?
Well, you were here for Mr. Fleur.
And I opened a whole can of worms in the process, Tup. I shouldn't have come.
But if you wouldn't have come, then Fleur wouldn't have been here today to help carry or whatever he did, because I wasn't at the funeral, but
I could have given you guys the boat. I didn't have to be on it. All I had to do was summon it. I don't know why I thought this was a good idea. I don't know why I thought it was a good idea. He's terrifying. He's 25 years and he's still terrifying. I couldn't even talk. I just did what I had to do and run away.
is it that he's terrifying, or is it that you're terrified of him?
Can Erdan chime in?
Yeah, I mean, if you are near the ship.
Yeah. I was following her back, just waiting for an opportunity to talk. Gander, I've seen you go straight up a statue and pull out magical pipes from us in the middle of a town, and I've seen you run towards danger. I've never seen you run away like that. I think Tup Tup is might be saying something truthful. I don't have to know what happened. I can only guess, but I don't have to know. Just know that whatever it is, just don't try to run away from us. When I tried to run away, or when I was scared, you were the one who convinced me to stay. So I want to be the same for you.
I don't know if I can stay here, Dan. Not here. Not with them.
That's okay.
And if you guys knew, you won't want me either. This is why I've been by myself for 25 years. And seeing him again, just, yeah, you're right, Tup Tup. I think I am terrified of him. And I always have been. And that's what caused the problem in the first place. When I'm
So
afraid,
what are you going to do about it?
I don't know, Tup Tup.
At this point, Nira has caught up to the ship
Okay.
because after leaving Oberon, she knew she had to get to Gander. So she comes to the ship and sort of gets the lay of everything. How are you, Gander?
I don't even know, Nira. Whoever said you can't go home was right. I'm not wanted here.
I understand that feeling quite well. So I found your dad and I told him what I would want my family to know, which is that you are loved and that you are cared for. And when I found your father behind the church, he was weeping and he thanked me for the information. He is glad to know that you have people looking out for you. So I don't know what you want to do. I don't know what you need to do, but I felt you should know that I had that conversation and that that's what he said.
It's ironic. I find it very hard to believe that he is glad anybody cares about me. He certainly didn't.
Well, I don't know that he was weeping for Mr. Manners.
I don't know what It's all my fault, you know.
Which part?
All of it. The famine, the dead fish, it's all my fault. Manos' wife and child dying, my fault. People not being able to feed their families, my fault. All of it. I caused it. I didn't mean to, but I caused it. And he was so angry. So I ran away. They didn't want me. I killed our island. I killed our way of life. I had to go. And I shouldn't have come back. And as soon as I saw him, all of that fear and terror came right back again. And I was that 20-year-old kid again. And he sounded so angry. The whole island is going to be angry.
I know you didn't intend on any of that. Sometimes intentions are all that we have.
All I ever wanted was for him to love me. And all I ever wanted was to be able to do things though, like he did with the magic, and he always said I was so much like my mom, and after she died, he didn't want anything to do with me. And I tried to make the fish dance. And I tried to make them spawn so that people would be happy and well fed. And something wrong, the way it always goes wrong when I try to do magic. And I killed the fish. And I've been trying to pay penance ever since. But he said he'd never forgive me.
The gander.
I thought that would change.
Whether or not he forgives you, dear, that's his work. That's his burden. And the one you carry seems far heavier than anyone should carry.
I killed an entire culture. Not all the people died, but the way of life died, and some people died. I don't think anybody on this island is ever going to want to see me again.
Do they know the story of what happened? Do they know it as you've shared it here?
My father is a blunt and honest man. I'm sure he told them.
But do you think that they would judge you, their daughter, their granddaughter, their beloved gander, for the mistake she made with her big heart?
Him? Yes. Yeah, I do. He did. He did judge me.
Rizwin, at this point, you have returned to anyone else who has been out and about is able to return to the ship as well.
So I'm walking into a lot of solemn people who look really upset, right? That's what I'm walking into.
Seems that way, yeah.
Gander, can I have a conversation with you away from everybody else?
Yeah, sure.
So,
Go in the cabin.
okay. So you know, because I've told you that I spent my whole life in Mother Sandreas's temple, and I know who you are, and you know, I think that we're all we're all amazed at what you've been able to do with your powers and your talents and your abilities, and I feel like you're not really giving your grandmother the chance to get to know this amazing side of you if you just run away when you have this opportunity to connect with her. And she really would love to see you. She'd really love to see you back, and she misses you, and she would like to be able to set things right with you. Nobody's angry with you anymore. What is done is done. What is in the past is the past. We learn from it and we move forward. And I think everybody knows that you've learned from it. Do you think maybe before we set sail, you might want to just take a trip back to the temple to go see her and see if you can find a way to bridge this fear that you have of these people and this place? Because I don't think you're seeing the whole picture, and I feel like maybe it's time.
Out of everybody I left, I miss my grandma the most. She reminds me of my mom. I want to see her wrist when I do. I would love nothing more to feel her hug me again. But to get to her, I have to go through him. I know he'll be waiting because he'll think that I'm gonna try to see her, and he'll just wait, and I'll have to talk to him, and I don't know that I can.
Okay, not for nothing, but I'm pretty sure your grandmother has way more strength and standing than your father does. I'm just throwing that out there. If she wants to see you, I don't think he's going to stand in the way. And I've been told by her that she'd like to see you. So if we all went with you, we could be the buffer and we can get you through that. And maybe it's not as bad as you are worried that it's going to be. Maybe you just have to face that fear. Maybe it'll be better for your magic when we're done.
And maybe I'll get scared again and fuck everything up.
There's nothing left to fuck up. We get back on the boat and we leave.
What if my grandma came here?
She was so happy that you were in her temple. I feel like she needs to welcome you home in her way, in her space. I think you know that.
I think you're right. I don't want you to be right. Why are you always fucking right? God, it's like you've learned from my grandma or something.
Yep.
You guys will go with me?
Well, obviously, but I'm the only one standing here, so you're gonna have to go talk to them.
All right, let's go.
Sweet. So we're back out on the deck and everybody's there. There's bagpipes off in the distance because we just had a dwarven funeral.
Don't ruin bagpipes for me, Ben.
Gander, I think you should be the one to let them know what you've decided.
Ristwin says my grandma wants to see me. She's my mom's mom, and I think I want to see her too. But I'm terrified of my dad.
Who's he?
He's a very powerful man.
I don't know. Have you seen Fleur? Pretty sure he can pick him up and throw him if he gets scared.
Yeah, I mean, unless he's not a dwarf, he's like,
He's a
half
sorcerer. He's a dwarf, but he's a sorcerer. Or wizard, I'm not really sure. He's one of the two. Over the table, Ben, which one is he?
He's a wizard.
He's a wizard.
Oh,
He's a wizard.
He's a wizard. Well, I can break his staff.
Oberon is a rather powerful wizard and member of the community. He sits on it. He actually sits on a council that oversees some of the goings on of Foco. As you guys are discussing this, Tup Tup walks up beside you and slips his hand in yours, Gander, and says, "Don't worry, Miss Gander. We got your back."
All right.
Can Moira go up to Gander and be like, can I hug you?
Yeah.
I'll hug her and be like, I know what it's like to fuck shit up. I'm so sorry.
We seem to be having this conversation back and forth, don't we, Moira? All right. Over the gangplank and down the dock to Grandma's house we go.
Okay, so as you guys step off the boat and onto the dock, a younger female dwarf with a messenger bag comes up and looks around and looks at Fleur and hands you a letter and says, "They were supposed to give you this after the funeral, but it seems like everyone left in a bit of a hurry, so there you are." And turns and starts to walk away.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What's in your letter?
I don't know. I'll read it later. Let's go see your grandma, and I'll take care of your dad.
Hey, so much for distracting the party. All right, we're going to the temple.
All right, so you guys proceed your way back to the temple. It's not so far to go, and at this point, it's been cleared out. There are a couple, monks of the temple that are just kind of sweeping up after the event. But you would know, actually, both Rizwin and Gander, you would both know that the Mother Superior's quarters are back behind. Like if you go kind of through the cathedral itself, there's some doors that are off to the side, and then there's the whole back of the building is like where the monks sleep and the private quarters for the Mother Superior. So you guys go and come to a room that you're both familiar with. Gander, you even more so. It is a large oak door, rather ornate with a knocker on it. and a little red rope that is tied down from the knocker. This is the quarters of your grandmother, Sandrea.
I wonder if she remembers our special knock.
The door squeaks open. And there she is, standing in front of you. Older, even now than you remember. You know, her long white hair is tied back in a braid. Her whiskers, you know, poking out here and there. She seems to have taken off her more the formal robe and has just kind of like a more comfortable sort of robe on. She goes, Gander. Oh, come here, child.
Hi, Nana.
Come here. Do you hug her?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know, she may be old, but she wraps you up with those knobbly hands and just pulls you in tight.
Get a room.
And Gander just like collapses to the floor crying.
She joins you in crying for some time before eventually gathering herself and saying, It's so good to see you, child. I have missed you.
And all Gander can keep saying over and over is, I'm sorry, Nana. I'm so sorry, Nana.
Oh. You don't need to apologize to me, dear.
But I do. I need to apologize to everybody.
Well, you're not wrong there. There's work that you might need to do, but at the same time, well, you know I don't condone lying, but sometimes when it's something is done for the better, your father, stubborn as an ox as ever, surprised me after the night that he found you packing up and you told him what had happened. You know, he came to me. He told me what was going on, told me to get prepared for it. And then he went to the council and he claimed that he tried to cast a control water spell and that something startled him during his casting, and he was afraid that he might have caused a major shift in the undercurrent. And him and I have lived with that lie for 25 years, Gander.
Nana. Why would he do that? That was my spell. I was the one who changed the undercurrent. Why would... Nana, I'm so sorry. I saw
Your
him.
father. Go on.
And I ran away from him. He scares me, Nana. He's always scared me. And
Child.
don't know. I don't know. I don't have any more words, Nana.
Child, this is twice now that you've run away from your father. You know, he came to me once. I'd say maybe 12 years ago. And him and I had not spoken of you a day since then. I tried, he wouldn't. He couldn't. Anytime I tried to bring it up, he'd say, "No daughter mine." It broke my heart to hear him say that, and I call him a stubborn ass more than once. But he came in here one night, like I said, perhaps a dozen or so years ago. And he had been crying. I could tell from the moment he walked in. You know, your father's not much for a praying man. But that night he prayed. And he asked for me and came to him. And it was the first time I had heard him bring you up in all the time. And what he said to me was that he wished you would have stayed because a mistake is something that's forgivable. But running from it, that was the sin. He told me that he understood that you were trying to do magic like him. And he told me that he was once a young wizard too, and he made mistakes as well. But the thing that had him so angry wasn't that you had messed up magic. It was that something that you did was going to hurt a lot of people that did not have the privilege of leaving. A lot of people that had to stay and work. A lot of people that had to care for their families. But you, the daughter of a wealthy man, the granddaughter of the high priestess of this temple, you had the privilege to run. There was no one relying on you. And he wept. He wept. Because he was angry that you left. And because he was angry that your mother left. You know, you take after her a lot. Free spirit and all that. I tried to make her into a priestess of the temple. He tried to make you into a wizard. See, that's the thing about being a parent. You're given a schematic and a set of bricks from your own parent. They build up a house. And then they tell you you need to build a house. And then your child tells you they want to build their house different. You don't have any way of knowing how to tell them how to build a different house. You only know the house you grew up in. It's up for a child to come up with their own design. And so I pushed my daughter. She ran away to be a bard. Your father pushed you. And you ran away too. But my doors never closed, Gender. They've been open this whole time.
Nana, he's scared me my whole life. I don't know how to not be afraid of him.
It's up to you what you want to do. But at the end of the day, he took the rap. He took the blame so that no one would come looking for you.
I don't know why he did that. Sometimes I thought he didn't love me at all. Most of the time, I thought he didn't love me at all.
Some people are better suited to loving than others. But even those that aren't doesn't mean that they don't feel it.
I didn't want to stay away this whole time, Nana. But I was too scared to come home. Do you think he would come if you told him I was here?
I think so.
Do we have to do it tonight?
No, no. Tonight we can drink.
I've gotten pretty good at making beer. It doesn't make people vomit anymore.
That's good. There's going to be a rather large reception down at the mead hall. A send-off to Menos. And your old granny was planning on putting a couple back.
Can I go with you?
You can.
I'd like you to meet my friends. They've sort of become my accidental family.
Is that all them standing out there in the hallway, peeking in?
Yeah.
You guys are all like Scooby-Doo, you know, stacked up around the corner.
And don't worry, the goblin's with us too.
Whatever. That's fine.
He's a really
Hello.
This is Moira and you know Rizwin and Fleur. And this is Mark and Nira and Erdan. And that's his owl Caper. And that's Tup Tup. He's our goblin. And my dog, Windsor.
Oh, what a lovely dog. And thank you all for taking care of my dear sweet gander. I appreciate it.
It is a true pleasure.
Now, should we go get some food and drink in us?
Yes.
I
All
think
right.
it's time to eat something I don't cook.
And you guys can all proceed over to the mead hall. And I think that's probably a good place to stop it for tonight. I think that feels about right. Fleur, the letter that you saw when you put in your pocket was addressed to you, and it was from the what's the term? It's from like a law office. It's a summons to the reading of the will, because you were bequeathed certain items from Meadows. says that the reading of the will take place tomorrow morning.
Okay. I'll
All right,
still.
gang.
Oh, yep.
Well, I imagine we can probably stop the recording there.